first. Game on.
Two down. How he needs a few 180s. That's his third.
Yep, it's actually 180s back to back. You take the score in, but Hamilton, there's plenty of room for Hamilton to follow it up. And he's still pushing Barney. Another three of those, and we'll start talking about the 9 data. And that's perfect number 4. Perfect number 5. Is number 6 perfect? Oh! That was quite a low dart. He would be disappointed in that one, John, but happy with the score.
Yeah, dead right. I think that was the first moment when he thought 9 dart is on. and it went far south of the target.
39.
But, like you say, Rod, needing to win the leg. Well on his way.
99.
I've spoken in the past about Barneveld surges. The great players like Barney, Taylor, Anderson suddenly can hit a surge. Whereas somebody like Andy Hamilton, with all due respect, is in horse racing terms perhaps a touch one paced. 17 for tops he wants. Brilliant. Super leg. 12 hours. Barney holding his throw. Now he can do with a 12 darter against the throw. But Hamilton, in horse racing terms, one paced, and that's not being derogatory. He is rock steady. But the big heavy scorers suddenly hit a surge and win 4 or 5 legs on a row. Van Gerwen did it last night. And
77.
Can change a game in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I totally agree, John. And that's where that extra little bit of talent perhaps is needed, and that's what they've got. And, Hamilton will not be happy. That's the first leg I can remember that he's kicked off with a bad score. Normally he's really consistent, so he's got to be looking at a ton 40 now to really get control in the leg. He doesn't want to let Barney break the throw and get back in, and I said he needs a big score, and he certainly has done that. The first maximum for Andy Hamilton here in the semi-finals. It certainly puts him right back. We talk about a run of legs, John, but it's also that every now and again you're going to hit that big score, as Andy Hamilton's just done.
Yep.
You know, you're behind in the leg, all of a sudden you've got control of the leg.
And it looks now as though he has control of this one with a maximum 180, followed by second 180 in succession, and Barney, having gone out in 12 arrows, now sees Hamilton on a potential 11 darter.
64.
And the way Hamilton's been hitting the doubles the last few legs, you fancy him to take this out. He's gone cleanly with the double tops. Can he hit the double 16 cleanly? That's the answer. He turns around and says to the crowd, did you think I was going to miss? Because I knew I weren't.
Now a different man.
Well, it's a totally different Barney. Even a month ago, Barney would have given that leg up. And he must never give the leg up, as proven. You say 247, we call it 6 starts from a number. Gives you some idea of what it needs to do. And of course, Hamilton, it forced him into going to the bullseye, which is always probably 2 in 5 you're going to hit. And Barney
60.
takes out the shot where in the first session, like you say, it would have been the other way round. Hamilton would have taken out the big shot and forced Barney into the miss.
Yes, if Barney's penultimate visit in that leg had only been a ton instead of 140, Hamilton might have looked and thought, I'll set it up rather than go for the bull.
140
again. Well, happy days. Yeah, I love your beer in Wolverhampton. Why not?
$190.
Well, we're in the same position again. Now Hamilton's on a 3-dart check out. Barney going to put the pressure on. The 140 again will give him 2 darts at the double. He goes for the 25,
96.
although he's missed. But he's still forcing Hamilton to take this shot out. And as we said, if Andy's going to get back in this game, these are a must, because he's going to know that Barneveld will probably have a dart at the double from 105.
Well, he's just taken out 107, yeah. 105 is no easier, even though it's 2 points lower. It's effectively the same shot, but slightly different target. And the treble 21st. Now treble 15 for tops. Very close, on the wire. Is Hamilton going to win his first leg since the 9th? This now being
39.
The 18th.
And he requires 16.
Double 8. Double 4. Got it earlier in the match. Got it easily earlier in the match. Now it's a different kettle of fish. Same double 4, 66. Different Andy Hamilton. Different score on the board, and it could be different again. Double 18 for Barney. Smooth as any pint of ale in any jug in Wolverhampton. Barney, brilliant. At the moment, you cannot afford to give him half a chance, and that's what Hamilton's been doing, Rod.
Well, that's his 3rd maximum of the match. He would have expected more, no question. But you're right, John. He has not forced the issue on Barney. He's let Barney get into his rhythm now, and the confidence in the man, and that's why he's taken out these shots. I mean, that was as easy could be, that 66. And Hamilton now really finding himself. I mean, Barney only needing 4 more legs. It's going to be... Well, we've seen Hamilton do it against Whitlock in the World Match Play a few years ago, but I think this man's a different kettle of fish on this stage this week.
Oh, yes. Well, Barney means business, and with an army like the one he has behind him, difficult to cut down to size.
77.
Still averaging 97.7 Hamilton. So hasn't done a lot wrong, other than been unable to go with Barney's surge. And there's another example with his 8th 180.
And again, the pressure that Barneveld is putting on Andy Hamilton is immense. You know, Hamilton again finding he's got to take out the shot. Now a big deep breath. Needs to see this go in the centre of the double 16. This time it does, and that's what it means to Andy Hamilton. I mean, realistically, if he'd have won the leg before, 11-8, he's back in the game.
Yeah. That's his first double since the 9th leg, when he hit a 12-dart finish. The only leg he's won since the 7th, when he went 5-2 up. And deservedly 5-2 up in the early stages of this contest. But this man has shown the qualities that has taken him to 4 BDO world titles and a PDC world title, and many other world event titles as well, with another 180, his 9th.
Well, there we have it. 9-3 on the 180s, and the 140s he's leading 44. As well. That's the difference in the scoreline of 12-7. I mean, Barneveld, even Barneveld of 6 months ago, John, I would have said that Hamilton still has got a chance to win. But I think what I've seen of the Barneveld, especially last night and this afternoon, I really can't see Andy coming back from this.
Yeah, averaged 104, was it? Nearly 105 against Wesley Harms in the second round, the first knockout stage.
77. Remaining to require 160.
Averaged 100 against Christian Kist in that 16-10 victory yesterday. Now tops for Barney for a 116. And smooth again. I keep using that expression, but that's what Barney is now. And moving smoothly, one feels, inexorably towards the final of the William Hill Grand Slam.
Well, in my opinion, there's no question that Barney was happy for that commercial break.
100.
It's just stopped that bit of rhythm of this man, Andy Hamilton. And now he can start again, forget about, missing the trebles, shaking his head. Just concentrate now to get this last leg. Of course, Hamilton is going to have to break Barney a few times if he needs to get any closer.
41.
And that is not going to help. So a big score here from Barneveld will certainly get him down to the double first.
$42.
41 from Hamilton, 42 from Barney. If this is 43 from Hamilton, it'll be a new statistical record. But it ain't gonna be, I can assure you. Excellent effort. Not enough, maybe. Patently not enough. Although
100.
Barney, not so long ago, would almost certainly have got a 140. That last dart drooped, dipped.
Well, it looks like Barney a little bit tired, John. I mean, he came off the board of a long match last night as Hamilton
140.
looked for his fourth or fifth 180. There's a lot of darts being played. The semi-finals, they've got the final tonight. Perhaps Barney's starting to think, I'm in the final tonight. A little bit of concentration, but certainly a little bit of tiredness coming in here.
Yes, it is a long day for whoever gets to the final. It's a sacrifice they're prepared to make, of course, particularly the one who eventually wins the tournament.
97.
Reminiscent, really, of last day of the UK Open at Bolton, which is one of the most demanding days in darts history, really.
100.
Well, that could be one of the best treble 20s that Barneveld's hit in this match. May give him 3 darts from 100. Now Hamilton, as we said, against Anderson, was taking these shots out to punish his opponent. He's got to stay there. I'd have stayed on that treble 20, John.
Well, he did.
How big is that treble 20?
He did against Anderson. He got 134 with 2 treble 20s and double 7, and I thought it would have been on his mind. Now then, 2 double tops. No, double 10 for Barney for a place in the final of the William Hill Grand Slam. Raymond van Barneveld beats Andy Hamilton 16-10. One Dutchman through